next speaker is Heather Elias from Century 21 Redwood Realty. I have a short bio for you for Heather. Heather is a realtor and blogger with Century 21 Redwood Realty in Ashburn, Virginia. Has built a thriving business using her award-winning local blog, localmusings.com, and a smartly crafted online marketing approach. Fully 75% of her business comes from her online efforts. She has spoken on social media topics at Inman News Agents Reboot and Real Estate Connect conferences and RE Tech South and RE Blog World, as well as for numerous realtor associations and at various real estate bar camps across the country. Heather has been a full-time real estate professional since 2004 and has a Bachelor's of Arts degree in journalism from the University of Maryland at College Park. Welcome, Heather.
Hello. Can everybody hear me okay? Microphone's working? All right. I want to start off by saying I was sitting in here earlier when they were doing that presentation on the technology that's available to you guys with your MLS, what they're providing to you. I'm part of the MRIS system down in Northern Virginia. We don't have anything like that. You guys are super lucky to have all that available to you. And you better believe I'm going to go home and lean on them to provide that stuff for us. That is just absolutely amazing you have this technology available. Well, I got a little bit of an introduction. I am a practicing real estate agent, and I think I might be the only person on the stage today that is. So I'm coming to you from a little bit different perspective than everybody else is. I'm here to share my knowledge based on what I'm using in the field and what's working for me. All right, you hear me all right? Okay. So we're going to talk about Facebook ads versus Google AdWords. Just to poll the room before we get started, how many people in the room have spent money using Google AdWords? By a show of hands? Okay. I'm seeing a decent amount of hands. How many people have spent money on a Facebook ad? Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to expect you guys that raise your hands to come up when we get to the question part at the end and give some feedback on how that's worked for you so far. Okay? So just keep that in mind. I'm going to pick on you. Facebook ads are going to eat Google's lunch. Social advertising is what's next. Social advertising, that's what we're going to talk about. Now, hopefully everybody in the back can kind of see these numbers, but this is a graph showing Facebook's projected ad revenue. Starting 2009, kind of small. But by the time you look at their projections, this is from eMarketer, of what people are going to be spending with advertising with Facebook by the end of 2012, that's a pretty significant jump up. And I believe that the reason why it's going to continue to rise exponentially is because of the power of social advertising. Okay? Social advertising eliminates that banner blindness. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say banner blindness? Okay? So when you're looking at a website and there's an ad across the top of it, do you even see it? No. You know there's going to be an ad up there and you're looking past it, right? Unless it's something really bizarre, it's not going to catch your attention. With social advertising, the component exists within the ad to be able to tell if your friends have liked that content, okay? So you can see that friends of friends networking, social connection, that it's something that your friends are interested in, so therefore it might be something that you're interested in, right? This is a big one. Social marketplace ads double the click-through rate. Double what a typical ad has, okay? They lift brand recall, message awareness, and purchase intent. And all of those things are what you're looking for your advertising to do, right? You're spending money. It needs to be effective. Which of these ads looks more compelling? Okay, we've got a typical engagement ad on the side. Become a fan for Virgin America, okay? The difference on this one? Friends have already liked it, okay? Looks a little more compelling than the one without, right? So you're probably more likely to click on this one because clearly your friends have liked it, okay? Word of mouth, friend recommendations, and then organic ad impressions. That's what's going to show up in a status update. If 2 or more friends have liked the same content, it's going to show up as an organic impression, and you could click through to become a fan of that page from an organic status update. Now that's not one that they paid for. Are we seeing social advertising? Are you following along with what I mean when I say social advertising now? Okay? Because it's got that extra component to it. Now let's walk through how to set one of these ads up, and then after that we're going to kind of talk about what you want to think about when you're setting up an ad and how you want to structure one where you want to send it. Here's the powerful part. On Facebook, you can narrow your advertising down to reach the exact consumer that you want to reach, okay? So when Facebook takes all that information from you on your info page about how old you are and where you got your degree and what you do for a living and where you live, all those things that people are filling in are what's going to let you target your ads to your perfect consumer, okay? So this is what you're going to start with. Location first. You can break it down. Now I'm in Northern Virginia, so Ashburn is where my office is based. I can make sure that the only people that see this ad that I'm placing are within 50 miles of my office. I can narrow that down to within 5 miles if I want to. Okay? So I know that the only people that are seeing the ad are the people that live in my market area. Okay? It's not pulling, so when I'm targeting an ad to try to reach people specifically, it's going exactly to the people that I want to see it. And as you adjust, this is a whole page. I've screenshot pieces of it, and we're going to go through it. As you make adjustments here, these numbers over here are going to go down, okay? So right now, the only adjustments we've made are that it's within the United States, within 50 miles of Ashburn, 20 and older, not already connected to me. We're going to go through it. So that's at 2 million right now. Then we can do by age, okay? Probably not going to have too many home buyers or sellers under 20, right? I mean, if you're trying to work with a certain segment, if the ad that you're writing is targeted to first-time home buyers, maybe you only want to put people up to age 35, okay? So you're delivering content to them that's going to be compelling. So you can target it just to men or just to women if you want, based on whatever your goals are with your ad. Interests and connection targeting, and this is where you can get as specific with your ad as you want to, okay? Connection targeting, if I want to make sure that the people I'm reaching are people that I'm not already connected to, I can eliminate any of my friends or followers from seeing the ad. So I'm not paying money to put that ad in front of my mom or the 5 people in my neighborhood who are already following along that I don't need to put that ad in front of. Okay? Making sense? Okay? Now, I could show it to people that are only fans of my business page if I want to, if I'm trying to reach them specifically for something. And this one, Friends of Connections. I want you guys to think about that one for a second. Only show my ad to friends of the fans of Heather Elias. Heather Elias, my business page, not my profile. Okay? Everybody understands the difference between business pages and profile pages, right? Okay? So my business page. Only show my ad to friends of the fans of that page. If you set up an ad that does that, the only people that are seeing that ad are going to see it with at least one person underneath it that has already liked that page. You follow what I'm saying? Because it's targeting the friends of the people that are already following me. Okay? What we're looking for in this business is that word of mouth referral, right? That cocktail party introduction from one friend to another. There's your online equivalent of your cocktail party introduction, because these are people that have already chosen to opt in to follow along on your business page. Okay? So if you have someone that ad drops in front of who has 6 friends that are already following that page, they're going to be pretty compelled to look at that, right? More bang for your advertising buck. And then you can limit based on whether people are married or single, whether they've graduated from college or not. It totally depends on what your goals are with the ad that you're placing, but you can get as specific as you want. Interest at the top, it actually is that's a dynamic search box that you could put in only people that are interested in real estate. Now that's kind of broad. I don't know too many consumers that are going to put on their info section of their profile that they're interested in real estate. But you could, say, target an ad to people that are interested in whatever local sports team you're interested in and do something in your ad that's tailored to that content. You know, tailor it as specific as you want. All right, now here's the thinking about part. Do you want to pay per click or per impression? Now the difference between clicks and impressions are, and you can set up your budget on Facebook however you want. If you're paying per click, you're only paying Facebook when somebody clicks on your ad, okay? Takes an action on your ad. If you're paying per impression, you're paying a little bit less, but you're paying every time that ad comes up on somebody's screen, whether they see it and act on it or not. Okay? We get the difference on that? Okay? So let's think about this for a second. You could create an ad that just says, Heather Elias is a real estate agent in Northern Virginia, with a link to the blog on it, okay, with my picture. And it's not very compelling, right? That's not a real compelling headline. Doesn't really make somebody want to click through. And if I'm only paying per click, but I set it up very broad, and it gets 1 million impressions, have I paid a penny to put those impressions in front of a consumer? No, because nobody clicked on it. So if you're paying per click, you're going to get front-of-mind awareness for advertising that comes up, okay? Because you're only paying when they click on it. But that front-of-mind awareness of having that ad pop up, you're going to see an ad even if it doesn't register with you. And if, let's say, the ad has my profile picture in it that's on my business page, okay? So there's a visual cue there for the consumer. Branding and marketing are very important. Or if it's your company logo, your team logo, if that's popping up repeatedly in somebody's sidebar as an advertisement, even if they don't click on it, it's going to register for them, okay? So in effect, if you're paying per click, you're getting free impressions, okay? Now, when you're setting up an ad, you should think about who your ideal consumer is. Who do you want to reach? What's your goal for that ad, okay? How are you going to compel them to click through? Okay, so choose your headline on your ad carefully. Give them a reason to want to click through. And then this bottom one, very important. Where are you sending them with that click? You can send them to whatever website address you want. Okay? So you can send them to your business page. If you're trying to run an ad campaign to raise the number of people that are following along on your business page, you just got it started, you're trying to gain some momentum, okay? You can set one up to go to your business page. You can set them up to go to your website. You can set up an ad for them to go to the home search portion of your website. Or you could send them through to a registration page to get information on how much their house is worth, okay? You can tailor your ad to whatever your goal is. You just want where they're landing to give them what they're expecting to get from that ad, okay? So if your ad says, want to know what your house is worth, then you better take them to a page that's going to help them find that out. Here's what ads look like, okay? So this is one that I did just to drive traffic to the blog. Didn't really care how many click-throughs I got. I mean, it's great if people click on it and go through to the blog, but I'm trying to raise front-of-mind awareness for the site, okay? Bottom one, here's real specific. Loudon Market Report. Want a snapshot of your home's value? Clickable report. All information, no spam. Now, it does say locomusings.com on it, but when they click on it, it takes them to a page where they can fill out a very short form to get a report emailed to them. Okay? Short, actionable, targeted, okay? Targeted so that when they went there, they very easily got what they came there for. That one has probably been the most successful. targeted landing page, okay? Know what your goals are, okay? And this is just a general overview of what you should think about when you're sitting down to set up an ad, okay? Take your time and craft your ads so that they are worth being there, okay? Don't just throw one up because you feel like you have to have an ad on Facebook. Decide who you're targeting. If you're trying to reach out to other agents for referrals, you can set up an ad for that. But if you're trying to reach consumers, you're going to do an entirely different ad, right? Are you looking to increase your fans on your business page? You're going to send, that ad's going to drop to your business page, right? You're trying to promote your company's website, increase traffic to that. You could set up an ad that way. You're trying to promote a product or a program, something special that your office is doing for consumers. Do you have an event that you're trying to get the word out about? Are you just trying to educate your community? You can set up an ad with information to, set up an ad with, here's information on all the Halloween festivities that are taking place this week and land people there. I mean, that's compelling content, but you better, have something on that page when they get there to make it want to be worth their while to come back, okay? Are you trying to connect more agents? Know what your goals are when you set your ads up. And then using campaigns. It's within the dashboard for Facebook ads, you can group your ads together, okay? So if you have tried 3 different ads and they're all home search ads, you're trying to drop them to the home search function of your website, but you've changed the wording in each ad slightly so to see which one works better, okay? You can group those ads into one campaign, and then you can look at the results of those ads next to each other to know which way you worded it was more successful with the consumer and caused them to click through, okay? You can pause campaigns. You can let them date out. You can put an end date on them. You can set up your budgets. I think I spend $1.50 a day most weeks. I'll rest my ads for a little while, pause them, so that the same people don't keep seeing them. Let them rest for 2 weeks and then turn them back on again so they're fresh and you get fresh click-throughs again. Analyze your ad results. Yeah, test ad performance with different headlines or images. So you can do different variations of the same ad and see which one resonates better with the consumer. Okay, so if you take the time to spend the money, take the time to analyze the results. Now this is one Friends of Friends ad that I did. Remember how I said the cocktail party introduction, okay, for people that are already following my page? So this is one of those ads. You can see the reach, which is the number of people that it went in front of. How frequently it was in front of them, 2.8 times per day. The social reach, number of connections, number of click-throughs. It's very simple to go into the back end of your ad campaigns on Facebook and see if they're working. Okay, if you set an ad up and the goal is to put people on a specific landing page from that ad and nobody's clicking on it, you give it a week, no one clicks on it at all, you probably want to go in and adjust your headline, adjust your image, adjust something in the wording of it, and then test it again, okay? And keep testing to see what works best, what gives you the best click-through rates. All right. Now, the people that raised their hand earlier about using Facebook ads, do any one of you want to talk about, come up to the microphone and share results from using ads? You can think about it, you don't have to right this second. Just to give you one quick story. I don't have a huge marketing budget, okay? I don't spend money on newspaper ads, but using highly targeted campaigns, using the landing pages like that, the home value report ad that I ran, I've had clients that not only did they submit the form online right away, but then called on the phone before I had time to respond to that form. Okay, so if you're putting an ad out there that answers a question for somebody and it's compelling to them, then that's what you're looking for, okay? So this is someone fills the form out, calls me before I can reach up, get back in touch with them, and lists their house with me within a week, okay? Facebook advertising is compelling and does work. Questions?
I have a question.
Hit me.
I run a Google Adwords campaign.
Okay.
And you could set all your keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do the exact phrase.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how your ad pops up on Google.
Mm-hmm.
How does it pop up on Facebook? Just by geographic location really that you set?
Geographic location and as much demographics as you want to put into it. So you can do keywords from the sense of what people are putting as their interests on Facebook. Okay, so it's a social system for reaching people. It operates a little differently than the way Google AdWords does. Okay, so you can target by geographic area, age, marital status. At one point, it was letting you target by income. I don't know if it still does that. Not everybody puts that in anyway. But the social connection factor, and then geographic area as well.
In my local area, I have like 700 friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I run, let's say I want to get more people to my, because you send your business homepage out and people sometimes don't click on it.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be good to run an AdWords campaign? Because I think people would see that. I don't know, Joe Perez spending money.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do that. That is one way to raise awareness of the fact that you have that business page out there and give them the reason to click through and follow along.
Just for the neighborhood specifically, basically.
Yeah, you could target neighborhoods. Yep, I would use that within the special interest area when you're filling out the data on the ad. You could target it by neighborhood as well. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Could you go tell the difference again between the pay-per-click and impression? When you do the impression and they click, they still go to your website. So it's with the just tell me the difference
Okay.
again, because I do use Facebook and I
Sure.
always try and figure out which one I should use.
Right. The difference. She's asking about the difference between paying per click and paying per impression. When you're paying per click, you owe Facebook when they click on the ad. Okay, so you're paying every time that ad comes up and someone clicks on it. So the ad could come up 300 times on someone's page or as they're viewing it in the stream, but the only time that you're paying is for the 2 people that clicked on it. Okay, you're not paying for the 300 times it showed up. If you're paying per impression, you're paying for the 300 times that it shows up, and it doesn't matter how many people click on it, okay? Now, the rate that you're paying per impression is less than the rate that you're paying per click. So I guess it's a matter of personal preference to you and the goal of the ad that you're using.
But generally, they would show up the same amount of time.
They should, yeah. Well, honestly, if you're paying per impression and you're operating within a budget, it's only going to show up as many times until you hit the limit of your budget for the day. Okay, so that will show up. You can, if you're paying per click, it's going to show up as many times as it needs to until you get the number of clicks that max out your budget for the day. Yes.
So discussing that, which will you like for me? Like I want to run an ad tomorrow. So based on your experience, like sometimes it gets intimidating because you hear these things that you click, it can write your bill.
Mm-hmm.
Google has a set limit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think impression, I don't know if it's the best way to go or to click. And then if I'm going to start, how much will you advise me to start with? Like $10 a month, $30 a month, like how much per day?
Okay.
The best way.
Okay. For anyone that can't hear, she's asking if she's getting started, how does she set up a budget, or what is my recommendation in terms of paying per click or paying per impression? I think it has to do, I think you should know. You should set the budget for yourself of this is how much I want to spend in a day or in a week or in a month, and then set up around that. When you, based on the demographics that you set up, it's going to adjust what your bid price per click is. So sometimes I'll set up an ad and it costs me 35 cents for that click based on the demographics that I selected. If it's something a little more specific than that, perhaps it's as much as 53 cents. So I know doing a $1.50 a day limit on that ad, probably I need to up it to $2 instead, Or, I mean, you can do it for any budget. I know people that spend a significant amount of money on Facebook ads, and a lot of time and effort goes into the ones that they craft. I just use it nominally here and there to play with it to support whatever campaign I happen to be running at the time. So, does that help? Yes.
You get a traffic report on the website?
Yes. Yes.
You get the email addresses and such?
No, it doesn't give me email addresses. The way that you need to set it up is so that when they click through where they're going to, you have the capture set up on that end. Okay? Since Facebook's not going to give me a report of who clicked on it, they're only going to give me a report of the number of times that it was clicked on. And they'll give me the social impressions and the data that was there, you know, the percentage of click-throughs and that type of thing. But you just want to make sure that what you have on the end, whatever site they're clicking through to, that there's a capture set up there for you. Yes?
Okay, again, another question comparing Google AdWords to Facebook. On Google AdWords, basically what's important is the ad priority. Like if you come in space 1, 2, 3, 4, how does that work on Facebook? Like how do you know if you come up first, second, third? What really determines that? Is it how much you bid?
Well, there's no first, second, and third. It's just the ads showing up in the sidebar on Facebook, so it's the number of impressions. It's not a ranking. There's the number of impressions that you get is just based on the amount of your budget. Really, okay. It's only going to show up until you hit your limit of your budget for click-throughs. Okay. But there's no ranking. It's the way that they appear. You're not competing with other ads for space on the page. Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
On those lines, though, let's say you had 20 brokers in the area that were using that same campaign in your general vicinity of what your specifics are.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to show 20 ads on the side.
No.
You know how that, what do they just alternate them?
Yes. Yeah, they're going to alternate. They're going to alternate. So the thing is to make the ad compelling enough that when it does show up, someone wants to click on it. So that's why I say test out some different ways of the way that you phrase things within the ad or different headlines or images to see what resonates better so that when that ad does come up that people are compelled to click on it. Yes.
When you said that the last click you should have set up to a capture setup, the person clicking has to electively give you that information.
Correct.
You can't just get it by them clicking onto the site, right?
Correct, right. Yeah, well, he was asking specifically if you're hoping to get the information of the person that's clicking, okay? You're not just trying to, raise awareness, drive traffic to your website without capture. Yes, obviously they have to opt in to give you information at any point. You're not going to automatically get the information of anyone that has the impression of the ad or clicks on it unless they opt into giving it to you in some way, shape, or form. But if that's what you're looking to do is to have a registration on the opposite end of it or to capture that information, then make sure you set up whatever landing page you have, whether that's on your website or something different so that you can capture it. So how about anybody that's using Facebook ads right now want to comment on how that's going for them or what you've been trying with it?
I've used Facebook ads now for at least a year or so, and I've had great success. I've had listings from that ad, but just 3 days ago I put a beautiful property on there, and I checked the tracking. I had 1 click. So I said, obviously I did something wrong with my ad, so I went back and redid it so that I would get more clicks. So it does give you the opportunity to stop right in the middle of doing your ads and change it if you're not getting it. I also increase the demographics of who I wanted to see the ads. Right. So you do have the opportunity to change, and it does work.
And that's an excellent point, to set up an ad to advertise a listing. Put that in front of them. I mean, if you've got enough information in that listing that you put it in front of the right person that might be interested in it to have them click through, I mean, that's extremely powerful. It doesn't have to just be your own, sending them to your own website or trying to promote the content that you're creating. You can promote your listings that way too. Other questions? Anybody else using Facebook ads? Well, good. I'm glad y'all are here. Maybe did that help? You figure out whether you want to use them or not? Okay. Any other questions? None? All right. Thank you for having me.